Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Grab You a Glass. We're on week 3 of a few of my favorite things, and I decided to go to Italy this week and show you guys one of my favorite types of wine. It's an Amarone. Amarone is from the Veneto region of Italy, and Veneto in itself is really cool because they have a very specific way of fermenting after they've harvested. So once the grapes have been harvested in like late September, October-ish, then instead of going to press, they actually lay the grapes out either on straw mats or they'll hang them from the rafters. And the purpose of this is to let the grapes dry. This allows the water to be evaporated from the grapes, and it also rises the sugar content of the grape as well. Some wines will be turned into a sweeter style wine, but Amarone, for instance, is not one of these wines. So within the Amarone della Valpolicella DOCG, the way that this works is they will, like I said, lay out the grapes and let them dry out sometimes at least till mid-January, but sometimes longer. So you have this bunch of grapes that are high in sugar, and instead of stopping fermentation and making a sweeter wine, they ferment these wines to be dry. So you're going to get at least a 15% alcohol on these wines. This one is actually 16.5%. So this is a very high alcohol wine, but it's a very interesting way to make wine. Now, this particular one I had earlier this week, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Because for me, Amarone is hit or miss. Sometimes I feel like they may have been dried for a little too long. They have kind of like a raisinated texture and taste to almost kind of like it's been slightly cooked or maybe like a stewed taste. But this one is actually very fresh, and I was very surprised by that. And so when I did my research, I found out why. And the reason is because the maker, the owner of Tedeschi, is Riccardo Tedeschi, and he and his family have invested in these huge state-of-the-art fans for their drying process to control the humidity in the airflow in the rafters in the drying rooms, so their grapes actually don't get musty and they have really good airflow. So this one I was really blown away by, and I think that's the reason why. So let's give this a pour and see what we got going here. Very deep in color, very dark garnet color. So when you age or not really age, but dry your grapes out like that, essentially you're going to get a lot of rich flavors. So dark strawberry, like spiced plum flavors, just like I said, really rich and really great for this time of year. But the main thing that surprised me the most about this wine is how bright and fresh and juicy this is. I would never have guessed this was 16.5% alcohol, ever. It drinks so smoothly and beautifully. So if you've never had an Amarone, definitely get one so you can at least experience it, because it is different just because of the fermentation process. It makes it very interesting. But this particular one, from the Tedeschi family, Marne 180. This is the 2019, and I just absolutely love this one. It did get 97 points from Decanter, so definitely one worth going out and trying to find. Anywho, until next week, hit the subscribe button down below. Until then, cheers, and I will see you next week for our last episode of A Few of Our Favorite Things. Bye.